let's get flying.
Well, welcome on board flight 001 today. We are currently flying over Lake Anau. Now, Lake Anau is New Zealand's second largest lake, but it is the largest volume of fresh water all of Australasia. It has a length of 65 kilometres, all the way out the right-hand window, all the way up to the start of the MILFORD track. And it has a circumference of around about 530 kilometres. Counter traffic Delta Romeo India 0 off the lakefront, climbing through 1,100 for the hidden lakes. Over here on the left hand side, this is Broad Bay. Now Broad Bay is the start of the Kepler track. The Kepler track takes between 3 to 5 days to walk, about 4.5 hours to run. We can fly 20 minutes, that's what I prefer. Right on board today, lovely bunch of people from all around the countryside and some royalty. We're going to go see the sights of Te Anau, so come join.
Ivan, how long to crawl?
Pardon?
How long to crawl?
How long?
Crawl the Kepler.
To crawl? Depends how much beer you've had. Now, underneath us is something quite spectacular. What happened is about 14,000 years ago, the glacier came out of the South Fjord, parts of it broke off and melted in the dirt. It left the 13 hidden lakes of Te Anau. Only visible by the air, each one of these small lakes is around about 900 feet deep each, which means they are deeper than sea level and we can hide a skyscraper in them. And they'll start to appear out both sides of the aircraft. The hidden lake up here on the top right hand corner was the first tourist attraction in the region back in the late 1800s, and you can still take that tour with a number of cruise boats here on Lake Anau. Now on the left-hand side we have the South Fjord. Now there are only 3 freshwater fjords in the region. All 3 of them are here on Lake Anau. The South Fjord is around about 1.5 times larger than Milford. It's less accessible, and for that reason alone I find it as beautiful. One thing you'll notice around here is the lack of beaches. Now that's quite normal for a glacial formed waterway. The South Fjord is around about 1/3 the depth of the mountains above it. And speaking of mountains, covered in cloud on the left hand side is Mount Luxmore, almost the highest point in the Kepler track. And on the right hand side, the Murchison Mountains, and this is where the Takahe were rediscovered. And pronounced correctly, of course, it would be the Takahe. Now, for those of you with a gullible nature, the hidden lake down here on the left-hand side, this is the last known dinosaur footprint. Only if you're gullible. Now on the left-hand side is the town of Anau, home to about 3,000 people. On the right-hand side, the National Park. Now, the Fiordland National Park, not only is it the largest national park in New Zealand, but it's also a World Heritage Park, and it's the second largest in the world. About 2.7 million hectares. 99% of it has never been and will never be touched by human hands or feet.
Aurora looks really
On the right is the Jackson Peaks, just covered in the cloud, unfortunately. And then down here on the left are some beautiful limestone cliffs. Now the problem is that limestone comes from the bottom of the ocean. So the question is, what are they doing there? Oops, maybe it's because it's part of the Southern Alps, the world's second fastest growing alpine system. Over here on the right-hand side, this is the Irisburn Valley, and this is where the Kepler track comes out of into Lake Manapuri. Now Lake Manapuri has been voted New Zealand's most beautiful lake. There are 33 islands in it, and almost all of them are forested. It is most famous for the power station, which is at the far end. It took 10 years to build the first tunnel from Manapuri through to Doubtful Sound. There's about a 700-foot fall between the two, in fact. To this day, the Manapuri Power Station is still New Zealand's greatest engineering achievement. They won an award for it in the year 2000. Why is there a bald patch off to our left there, Ivan? That will be probably an old tarn, and over time Mother Nature just takes it back when she wants. Okay. Manapuri traffic, Delta Romeo India is landing in Shallow Bay.
other wee hut round here?
There's one hut right ahead of us, that's the Shallow Bay hut. But over here is indeed the monorail hut. That's the last hut on the Kepler track. Here we are in paradise. famous Lake Manapuri, the most picturesque lake in New Zealand, apparently.
I'm not biased.
I'm not biased either. Alright, let's go and we'll put the camera over onto the motor rail hut as we go past, and we'll take off again. I'll just do my checks.
Look at a good look at.
Alright, let's go have some more fun. Great. Manapuri traffic, Delta Romeo India is rolling off the lakefront, shallow bay, and still remaining low level up the Wairau River. At 11 o'clock over there. It's the Doubtful Soundboat. Right, Ivan, you couldn't call this a job. Well, like most things, on a good day, it's great, and on a bad day, how about that rugby? Alrighty, now down underneath us is the Wairau River. Now the Wairau River is one of the best freshwater fishing rivers in New Zealand, in the world in actual fact, fish per kilometre. But it's been made more famous now because it was used in the first Lord of the Rings movie for all of the river scenes. One of the more memorable locations is right down here on the right hand side, right underneath us. Manapuri traffic, Delta Romeo India, the mouth of the Wairau. 1,200, tracking the Wairau low level for the control gates.
It's going to be challenging for the jet boat drivers.
Oh, with it being so low, it actually is a big challenge.
I think I told you we're coming out on the boat.
Oh, okay. Now over on the right hand side is Mount Titiaroa, that's a pummel granite mountain, giving the impression snow covered all year round. The other Lord of the Rings movie location is actually right down here beneath us.
I can see a fish.
Yes, you can, from this height you actually can. There you go. So right down beneath us was one more Lord of the Rings movie location. And that Mount Titiaroa, that is a pummel granite mountain. So giving you the impression it's snow covered all year round, even it's not, that's just its natural colour. Over on the right hand side, the mountains covered in cloud. These are the Takitimus that separates us from the deep south. Underneath that, these brown swamps over here were used as the swamps of Mordor in the second Lord of the Rings movie. Truth is though, they were only there for 2 weeks. It was too hard to film, so they recreated it in the winter, but that's where it started. Down here on the right also, these trees with the Tarsua Road running through it. This used to be the Manapuri Power Station village. And there was houses, shops, schools, the whole 9 yards. Once the power station was finished, the whole place was uplifted.
I went to school there.
You were joking. Really? Wow! And I mean wow! That's amazing! Now down here on the left is the swing bridge, which marks the end of Kepler track. That's one place that you can drive to, walk a bit of the Kepler track, without wearing yourself out.
I'm in.
Now shortly over here on the right is a bit of a giggle at the expense of our lovely Queen. You'll see a tar seal road that leads to an alcove in the river. This was made for the Queen and the Queen Mother for her coronation tour. The problem is they never turned up. And so we now use that to launch a jet boat out of. It's called the Queen's Reach. One morbid thing around here that's really worth noticing is at the moment it's a great example of on the right hand side rural farming New Zealand. On the left hand side is the national park. How different they are and how all New Zealand would have been before we colonised. Way out down here on the right, this is the golf course of Anau. Only $40 for a game of golf, that's not bad for a tourist destination. And then at the top of the waiau we have the control gates. Now there's no power generator here, this is just to control the lake level. It's also one more place that you can drive to, walk a bit of the Kepler track without wearing yourself out. General Traffic Delta Romeo India is the control gates at 1,200 for a lakefront landing. On the way back in, we're going to see some beautiful colours here on the shores of Tui Bay. You may make out the two totem poles of Tiana on the bride's front lawn. No one knows whether they're there, but they are. And we're also going to take you over the bird sanctuary. Now it's free of charge, and they do have the light tiger hay there.